Becky, actually, I have a little bit more of a general question on Chelsea. Obviously, she had to play last year coming back from the injury, and maybe never was 100% herself. But she talked about how good it's felt for her this year to be herself. I just wonder if you could talk about that, and especially going into the time of the year when she's really been very good throughout her career.
Yeah. Last year, just going into that season, she's not even a year out of surgery. Um, and your feet are a big deal in this sport, Um, so yeah, I know she was not only that, not only just the surgery and the physical part of it, but the mental part of it. Working her back into it. We didn't have her, I think, for the first 10 games. She really had to press and do a great job just to play last year. Um, but this year, I mean, this last month and a half, she's just been to me, she's just been Chelsea Gray. Um, and she seems to, for my years here, she gets better in September and October when it counts the most. That is something that the good Lord gave her. Uh, she's born like that. So she's just really dangerous in high pressure situations. Are you Steve?
I am.
Steve, you okay?
No, come on. You only had one day to prepare for this game. Is it like cramming for a final exam, or have you done enough over the course of the season that you could be ready to shift gears to a different kind of environment that the playoffs provide?
Well, definitely the prep work goes up a level, but we kind of knew, going into the last week of the season, we could be playing anywhere from Indiana to Golden State or Seattle. Luckily, how it spread out on my coaching staff, it was uh, broken up a little bit, so they could start really hammering home. Where I was really focused on finishing up the last regular season game because we needed to win that one. Um, but I mean, we were in the office the next day, early hammering away, and then brought the team in so that they could get eyes and game plan kind of settling in their head, and then good practice Saturday, and then here we are. So I don't feel crammed. I think we've gone over what we need to go over. Conversely, I know they've had quite a few days to be able to prepare for us. Um, I think their last regular season game was against the Valkyries on Tuesday.
Back to piggyback off Michael's question about Chelsea, the other story that really nobody talked about, and she didn't talk about it until media day this year, was Jackie. Jackie had been dealing with pretty severe injury and battled through it, not to mention Paris. Your roster is fully healthy. Cheyenne's here. I mean, you have a full roster, and the chemistry is that you were waiting on is how nice is that to sort of when you think about last year's playoffs, what you were dealing with having everybody healthy and everybody on the same page.
Well, it's nice to have everybody healthy. I mean, Jackie's someone who's I have to pull information out of her sometimes. Sometimes she can be hurting more than she's letting on. Um, so, I mean, yeah, everybody was a little bit dinged up last year. It was a different kind of season. We had long runs before. Um, it's interesting, we think we have Candace Parker going into last year. Like, so there was a lot of just bumps and bruises along the way, not having Chelsea. Um, but we're ready to go now. That was last year. We learned a lot from last year. We learned a lot this year, and I think the world is starting to learn how good Jackie Young is. Um, we've kind of known it here all along, uh, but to kind of see her go to that next level, but also get the recognition. She's on all WNBA teams. I think is is great because of the work that she's put in, and we're not sitting here without Jackie. I know we talk a lot about Asia and Chelsea, but Jackie has been phenomenal for us.
Andrew Jones on Zoom. Andrew.
Thanks a lot as always, Coach. As you know, no secrets between you and Seattle for the tough battles that you've all had, including splitting 2-2 this season. And though they've struggled shooting a 3-point shot this year, they've had an emphasis on NECA shooting more threes as the season has gone on to really try to get some production there. Besides NECA and Malanga's rise, anything else you've seen from Seattle as the season has gone on?
I don't think you talk about Wheeler enough. She is a motor coming in off that bench for them. Has hit a lot of big shots for them, actually, down the stretch, crunch time shots, including the one she just did with the Valkyries the other day. But when this team does get hot, they're streaky, right? I mean, I watched the Minnesota game. You know, they're down 20-something points, come back and end up winning by 10+ points. Like, that's a huge swing. And the difference really was, the first half they didn't make threes, and the second half, they couldn't miss. So we know they're dangerous. They've come back on us multiple times. Even when we went up there, jumped out on them, they crawled back into that game, ended up being a 5-point game. We had them down by 21 here in the game that we won, and they crawled back to pull within 1. It's a very dangerous team, and it's because they can change the tempo of the speed defensively and like I said, get hot, create some easy ones for themselves on the defensive end, and then, your offense gets a little bit easier. So you got to stay locked in for the full 40 minutes here. No, can't have those 5, 6, 7-minute lapses. I don't even want a 2-minute lapse.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll go to Nikias.
Hi, Coach. Just a couple of quick ones for me. Just one on the KB front. Is she going to be available tonight?
Yes.
Got you. And then secondly, just a broader playoff picture. How do you feel about the 1-1-1 format this year?
I don't like it. You look at a team like Phoenix, they have, dropping that one, they're going to have all the pressure unbelievably tough to now have to fly to New York. And New York has a tough one, flying to Phoenix, back to New York, potentially back to Phoenix. I think this conversation came up last year when Indiana didn't get a game and they were upset. But for me, then people just got to you got to finish better. Either move it to 5 or it stays in the 2-1 format because it puts the higher seed at actually a huge disadvantage.
Got you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Yep.